Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, June 16th. It's Father's Day, people. Not yet, but this coming weekend is Father's Day. Have you gotten your dad a gift yet? I hope so. Show that man that you appreciate him and that you love him and that you're willing to give him this much of a gift to show your love for him. I know I will. I know I'm going to. But make sure, don't forget Dad, Your dad does a lot for you, hopefully. Does a lot for you. There to love you like he can. Hopefully he was at your sporting events, at your, talent shows, concerts, graduations, always a part of your life. I know mine was. A lot of fun. Good memories, good times. So this Father's Day, get him a good gift. Get him something that's, thoughtful. Get him something that you think is clever. That maybe he would like it. Something cool. I'm not the biggest or the best gift giver, I'll be honest with you guys. It's been pretty tough for the past few years in my book just to be, give a swell gift. So I normally go to Amazon and search gifts for so-and-so, gifts for mom, gifts for dad, gifts for brother, gifts for sister, gifts for little brother, stuff like that. And normally I get a couple, good suggestions, but ultimately nothing that they really need. And it's I don't want to give you something that you don't need or you have enough of. Like, for instance, I've given my parents a lot of gifts that they don't need anymore, of shirts, sweatshirts, clothing items. You don't need any more of that. You're good. You're fine. It's always weird because clothing is a great gift. It's a fantastic gift, right? You can wear it whenever you want. You can have a variety, big selection. But I just feel like sometimes you keep giving them clothing and they're like, well, I have too much now. I got to get rid of some of this stuff that you gave me. Now, I'm sure that doesn't happen to everybody, but you always kind of get that feeling maybe I should, get better gifts. But then that's got, that becomes more expensive. And that becomes, a little bit more of an investment, I want to get my parents, some really good gifts. Maybe during the holiday season this year. I've been thinking about, what can I get these guys? Something that's good. Something that costs a pretty penny without breaking my bank. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this on this podcast, but I absolutely hate spending money. I don't like it. I dread it, in fact. Any little thing that I spend money on, I think about, I just spent money. Why have I done that? Did I need to do that? And then it's always for the most part, it's no, you did not need to do that. Right? I did not. Did I really have to eat lunch today? Or could I have waited until I got home and eaten dinner? It would have been painful. It would have sucked. But did I really, really need to eat lunch today? Did I have to buy food just so I could not feel bad? And, when you eat it, you're oh, this is good. This is tasty. I'm glad I bought this. And then you see the transaction in your bank account and you're maybe I should not have done that. Maybe that's just my way of thought. Maybe I'm sick in the head and I have, I just have some kind of condition. I hate spending money. And it's not like I'm broke, right? I'm not a broke person. I do have money, but it's just spending any little bit of it kind of gets me a little on edge. I wonder if that's something that you could, get treated for, maybe get some medication, right? Maybe it's I don't know, like low income syndrome, something like that. Like I know that's not what that's not a real thing, but it's like, I just don't like spending money. Hurts me deeply. It feels like it attacks my reputation, my soul, my soul being on this planet is being attacked. And I know it's for things that usually I need, like food and stuff. But also, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I have pretty much everything that I need right now. And yet you have these impulses like, maybe I need a new this. Maybe I want a better that. Maybe I want, something that it would actually be useful in my life. Like deodorant. Like, no, I'm kidding. But like stuff like that. And you're like, I should probably buy a new this or get a new that or get this fixed. That's another big thing I don't like to spend money on, is getting things that have to be fixed. It's like, I know that they got to be fixed, right? Or a new thing, like maybe an oil change, or like a something like that, or some kind of maintenance thing, or a car wash, stuff like that. It's like, do I really need to spend money to get my car washed? It's like, how cheap can I go with this too? Like, how do I have to pay the premium? Do I have to get a good car wash? Can I just get a cheap one and just be done with it? I mean, it'll look better, obviously, than it is before, but I don't need it to be, like, spick and span clean, right? It's just got to be, like, a little bit cleaner. But I don't know. It's just kind of a thing that's always been really my weakness. And even, like, if I, go to dinner or lunch with people, I always get the cheapest thing. Whether that be, like, a burger or a chicken sandwich, or like maybe some tacos. I always get the cheapest stuff, and it's just always been a thing. And even if I'm not even paying for it, like, that's even another thing, is like, when I don't pay for that meal, I am not going to be like ordering like lobster and filet mignon. Hell no. Like, that's not even like a thing I think about. Like, I am not going to order lobster and a filet mignon on somebody else's tab. No way, no how. I have the inability to treat myself. Like, I am incapable of treating myself. And it's my weakness. It's my kryptonite. Treating myself is like not even a thing. You know how in Parks and Rec, one of the slogans is treat yourself? I can't, like Donna and Tom, that was like their thing, treat yourself. I can't do that. I simply can't. Like, there's been times I like go into stores and I'm like, I should probably get this. Like, I want this. Like, this would be cool if I had this. And I stop myself. I don't know why. I can't break it. I can't see myself being like, after I buy it, like, that was a good purchase. I just can't see myself saying that. I don't know. Maybe I got to see a therapist or something. Maybe I have to, I don't know. I don't know. Money to me, especially in these times, right? You see the gas prices, the prices of food. It's like, am I going to be able to eat today? Obviously I can, but like, I don't want to go and then spend money on like fast food or something at the store that's like quick to eat. And it's like, oh, probably shouldn't have spent that. Like, it doesn't really feel good to spend that much money. And it's like, maybe like, not even that expensive, but I'm sick in the head. So it hurts me deeply in my soul. It's like, I don't know how to, there's like no playbook for not being cheap, right? Like, Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob has been cheap his entire life. I think it's just like a disease that you live with, just being cheap. Like, there's nothing I think that's out there to stop anybody from being cheap, to cure cheapness. I don't think that, Mr. Krabs has been able to cure his cheapness, or if there's any service out there that can de-cheap a person. It's just, part of my existence now. It's like, I never really was like this before. Like, back when I was like maybe, I don't know, like 22, 21, I spent a lot of money. During the pandemic, I spent a lot of money, just like blindly sometimes, like food, a lot of food deliveries, just like, let's go all out, stuff like that. And, like stuff on Amazon. It'd be Christmas time. All right, time to buy the family all gifts. And not like cheap gifts, but like not expensive, but like decent gifts. And now it's just like, I'm 28 now. I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me to spend that much money. And I wonder if that's going to hinder the future of my well-being, my mental health, my happiness. I mean, I it's not like being cheap makes me unhappy. It makes me very happy knowing that money's not going anywhere. That's truly what makes me super happy. And maybe I should just keep doing it. Maybe I should just continue to be cheap and to be, I don't know, I guess like a repellent of people. Like I don't mean to drive away certain types of people, but like if people find out how cheap I am, I mean, I think I'm done for. Like nobody's going to want to want a piece of this guy. Hey, you want to go out to dinner? Like, sure. Like, what are you having? And the person's like, I'll have the steak, the appetizers, and the dessert. Like, well, how about you, Alex? Let's see, where's I'll have the chicken sandwich right there. Like, you got to be kidding me. Again with the chicken sandwich? Like, hey, man, it's just my thing. I can't shake it. There is no way that I can shake it. And maybe it's because I haven't tried. Like, maybe I should try to shake it. Maybe I should just try to, like I said, treat myself. But I don't even know if that would work. Because I would still have to go home at the end of the night knowing that I spent more than I probably should have. And look at my bank account like, oh, look at that. I just lost $30 on an okay meal. And, I would say like it's delicious in the moment. And it's probably the best or one of the best meals I've had in a while. And then once I get home, I'm like, it wasn't that great. I could have had a chicken sandwich or a burger. That's why I love always getting pizza for a meal. Because it can be, first of all, like if you get like decent pizza, like good local pizzeria, mom and pop shop, or even like a more high-end pizza, also mom and pop shop, but a little bit more high-end, you can spend a pretty penny on some pizza. If you got a family, maybe a couple pizzas, maybe some, sides, maybe some ranch, maybe some wings, stuff like that. You can probably spend up to like maybe around $40, depending on how much you order, and depending on how good the pizza is and how expensive it is. And then you could order let's say for instance Little Caesars, which is not as cheap as it used to be, granted, but you get the hot and ready pizza, which now I don't think is $5. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't even know if they have a pizza on that menu that is currently $5 right now. Now maybe this just could be just California prices because of inflation, which also kills me as well because it's just like that also just brings my mood down. But I'm gonna start a order on this app and see how much shit costs. All right. So right off the bat, the thin crust pepperoni pizza, which is not a basic pizza, without taxes, it's $8.49. $8.49. To me, that's just too much money. I mean, it's a thin piece of shit. Thin cheese, thin sauce, thin pepperonis. Delicious, if I may add, but like not worth $8.49 for a whole pie. Just not worth it. Let me get to the basic pizzas. And then we'll get to the higher end pizzas. Classic cheese pizza, right? Classic cheese at Little Caesars is no longer $5, no longer $5.99. I remember when it was those prices. It's now $7.49 for a classic cheese pizza. Now, classic pepperoni is also $7.49. First of all, why is it not more? There's an extra topping on there. Makes you wonder, right? Classic Italian sausage is $4.49 as well. Again, what the hell is up with that? Why is sausage and pepperoni not adding to the cost of the pizza of the price of the pizza? It's just it blows my mind. Extra most bestest pepperoni is $8.49, a whole dollar more than the basic.
Here's what I found.
Extra most bestest, I hate you, Siri. Extra most bestest cheese is also $8.49. But get a load of this: a veggie pizza is $13.99. How is that even possible? Like, those toppings don't even get used. You can't have that many of those toppings. Like, I know people who eat Little Caesars. No one, or maybe not nobody, but like, definitely not that many people get the veggie pizza from Little Caesars. It's just not going to happen. Now we're getting into the high quality pizzas. That was the first one. Again, the veggie pizza is $13.99. The 3-meat treat, one of my favorites. Classic pizza. Actually, fairly delicious. 3-meat treat, $12.99. Not bad. Now, if you think about it, they're just adding bacon and sausage, 2 toppings, which alone on a pizza is $7.49. Remember, there is no difference between a basic cheese, a basic pepperoni, and a basic sausage pizza at this place. There's no extra charge. It's a flat rate. 5-meat feast is $13.99. Add 2 more meats for $1. What's going on around here? How does that work? Now, I'm not sure what's added onto the 5-meat feast, but I would assume it's delicious meat. So I don't know like what kind of meats they have or how much better they are, but it's puzzling. So my point is, Little Caesars has not been as great as it once was. You can tell that the quality of the pizza has not changed. It tastes the same, it feels the same, but it costs much, much more. Now, I don't know why this happened. If it was Caesar himself was like, strike, the price is up, we need more money, or what happened there. I don't know. I truly don't know. But I'm a fan of it still. You know why I'm a fan? Is because as much as cheap Little Caesars is, and how sometimes bad it could be, like I've had some pretty bad Little Caesars, and I've also had pretty decent Little Caesars. It gets the job done. It truly, truly does. As expensive as it is now, and I'm cheap, so $7.49 is expensive to me. It's decent. It will satisfy your craving and your hunger. You will not go hungry that day or that night. You will be fine. But if you expect more from your pizza at a decenter price, at a chain restaurant that is, maybe, just, affordable to you, go to Little Caesars. Check it out. News broke that Little Caesars is now going to be the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And I just had to say, first of all, at least you kicked out Pizza Hut, because that shit's terrible. Pizza Hut has got to be the worst chain restaurant pizza out there. If I'm going to rank the top 3 chains, maybe 4 chains of pizza in America, between Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's, I'm going to go Domino's, Pizza Hut. Not Pizza. Oh, shame on me. Domino's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, and Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is that trash. It's pretty terrible. I've had Domino's recently, and we got one close to our town, and I've had a couple times. It's actually pretty good. It's actually you can taste the quality in the dough, the meat, the sauce, the cheese, more than I've ever tasted quality at a Pizza Hut. And that's speaking volumes to a person who loves pizza. And a person who loves food in general is I can taste how good that this is. These ingredients taste amazing to me. I'm very easy to please with food, and I could also be a very tough critic. But for some reason, when I eat Domino's, I'm back to my old self of just eating pizza. Of happy Alex consuming pizza and not giving a damn it making me, first of all, satisfied, not hungry, satisfied hunger, and just taste good tasting food. That's all we can want, after all. Why do we eat food? To live, right? To have energy, to go throughout the day without being hungry, to perform at our highest athletic peak if you're an athlete, right? That's why we eat food. We don't just eat it because we think it tastes good. Tastes good is also, it's a big, it's an addition. It's a good incentive to eat. You want to eat tasting foods. You usually tend to eat more foods that taste better to you, depending on your taste, depending on your palate. That makes it all the better. But, for the most part, you just need food for energy to do stuff. Now, in this day and age, most people work in offices. You probably don't need to eat that much, high fatty food or high protein style food. Depending, also, if you do work in the office, I mean, like, if you trace our roots back to ancient times, to not even that far back, let's just say, like, maybe, I don't know, the time of the Vikings, right? Not like ancient humans or like Neanderthals, but like, let's just go back to the Viking era. Those boys, those ladies, those guys ate a ton of meat. Why? Because they were in like battle constantly. And then traveling, hiking, walking, migrating, working, building ships, traveling on foot and horse. And did I mention the battle? Like, that's all they did back then. That's how they lived. That was their way of life. Working was serving the king in war. Not just, being an accountant in an office and like, oh shit, it's time for my break. Let's go. Where you want to go? Let's go crazy. Let's go eat some steak. Like, you definitely don't need steak for that. But, like, it tastes good. And then you just want to eat more of it. Food has strangely just become a leisure item for us, if you think about it. Like, if you could think of, like, going back to, like I said, Viking times. You think that those guys could just go somewhere and order food and order whatever they wanted? Hell no. We live in a machine, people. You can go to McDonald's and literally order 100 hamburgers there, and they'll still have enough to feed that much over 3 times as much, maybe even more than that, of hamburger. Like, you don't really, for the most part, need to worry about food shortages in this country, for the most of this world, rather. In case something really bad happens, then shit, we might be all out of luck. But for right now, we're living pretty good. There's, like, you go to the store, you go shopping for groceries. Not many times you're going to find that there's no potatoes there, or that there's no lettuce or celery or hot dogs. There's going to be plentiful. There's going to be a lot. Unless it's like a holiday, or there's being a lot of, like, certain foods being sold out because, holidays and everybody's getting that. But like any other day of the week, there's going to be plenty of food. And you don't got to do nothing about it. You don't got to hunt it. You don't got to plant it. You don't have to grow it. You don't got to pick it. You just go to the store and buy it right then and there. You don't got to worry about any of that. Now, sure, you depending on, like, how you view all that, how you view the food business and the food industry and how it works in the modern world, for the most part, you're okay with it. Most people are just okay of how it happens. How did I, back when you were a kid, you would be, playing in your room, your mom would yell dinner, and boom, you got spaghetti and meatballs right there, right? You got noodles, you got tomato sauce, and you got meat, all on one plate. Like, Jesus, Mom, how did you get the noodles? Where'd you make them? How did you have time to make this delicious sauce? It was already in a can, son. It was pre-made. Someone in a factory made this delicious sauce that kind of tastes like Grandma's. And this meat, it was already, I just had to roll it up and that's it. I didn't have to cut it, butcher it, nothing, and just rolled it up, and here we go. I went to the store and bought it. Imagine plopping a Viking in the modern day. What he would think about food and how we eat. Like he would lose his mind. He would lose his mind. He'd be like, you can literally eat, if you have the luxury, you can literally eat any time of the day. In this time of this on this planet right now, if you live in one of these great countries, a first world country, and you have a pretty decent living, you can eat at any time, any day of the week, and pretty much whatever you want any day of the week. They couldn't do that back then. Just could not do it. Not even that long. You don't even got to go that long ago. Look at the 1910s, the 1920s. So many people back then were just skin and bones because they couldn't afford to eat. You know, the fat people were the wealthy ones. They could eat anytime they wanted. But if you were like a hustler, not a hustler, but if you were like a grinder, like a dude who's just working on, like, you know, in a coal mine, in a steel mill, or a railroad, and you don't got a whole lot of money, you're probably skinny as shit. Maybe more the muscular side. You can probably afford like a couple good meals every week, maybe every month a couple good meals, but for the most part, you're not eating that well. You're just not. I mean, just, you don't even have to like do that much research, but just go and look at the people from back in the day. Just go look at them. Now, to be fair, food today is not as fresh/real as it was back then, right? You know, today everything's got preservatives, everything's got chemicals in it to make it last longer. You just look at mayonnaise and what that is made of. Eggs, milk, and that shit can last for months. If it's not open, years. Like, how is that possible? How that shouldn't be even real. And if it's refrigerated, you're pretty much all good for months. Now, if you open that son of a bitch and you leave it open for too long, not the same story. Like, right? It just, you can easily see, like, oh shit, like this is not what it's supposed to look like. It's getting clear. It smells even stronger. Like, this is not supposed to happen. Yeah. There's something in it that, you know, first of all, makes it last longer, but maybe there's also something in it, like, when it's chilled, it, like, comes back to life. I don't know. I mean, you ever wonder how they make chips? You think, like, you know, Doritos is probably made, you know, just like their tortilla chips, right? They just got, you know, tortillas, you know, cut them in little triangles, sprinkle a little cheese dust on it. That's probably it, right? I 100% doubt that. The only chip that I think is as fresh as it looks, or as fresh as it says on the ingredients, is Lay's. Lay's is just potato, oil, and salt. That's all it is to make it. I don't know what's, you know. And then there's this whole thing about the, you know, how the bags are so airy, like what's in that air. Well, I believe it's got to be preservatives, right? Like, it's just got to make it, you know, stay as fresh as possible. And then once you break that seal, you know, they're just not as fresh as they can be, right? It's kind of, I'm not gonna say like it's everybody knows that, but like, you know, you eat chips enough, you live long enough. Surprisingly, I have, and you just kind of know this stuff. Like, what? Why? And it's getting even worse though. By the way, there is like, I can't tell you how many bags of chips I've opened in this last month where there is like 90, not 90, but like there is like 75% of the bag is air and 25 is chips. I mean, I most see it in tortilla chips and potato chips, but like this is just, it's so much. It's just getting out of hand now. How much air is now in these bags? I mean, you're just like, why? You know? It's just, I feel like, and they cost so much, and you're just like, what? This is all air. What are we doing here? How is this possible? How could this be a thing? It's just it blows my mind. It blows my mind. And you think about it, like, dude, like, you look at cheese too. It's like, how is this cheese able to last this long, right? You would think that cheese would be is so delicate and so fragile, once it's out in the air and all that, and even just like being cheese goes bad pretty quickly. But I think if it didn't have preservatives and all that chemicals, it'd go bad much quicker, much more quicker than you think. Or milk, like how much stuff is in milk to make it last long. It's just like a lot. Like if you're like me and you enjoy milk, like I enjoy milk. I think it's delicious. I really do. A glass of milk at dinner, heaven, right? I like milk. But if you get like, your grocery store's basic, whole milk, which I do, and then you compare it to like another brand that's like a Fairlife, that milk, which is also very good. I mean, you can just tell how much sugar is in the basic whole milk. The Fairlife, I know it's like lactose free and all that, and it's super filtered. There's like no sugar in that at all. It just tastes like, this is like what milk would taste like. But then you drink like the milk that you get from the grocery store, like the basic milk, whole milk, and then it's you can just tell like, oh, this one's much sweeter. I wonder why that is. Why is the milk so much sweeter? Why? Like just for us to keep drinking it, or like what? And there's also that debate, like, should we be even drinking another animal's milk for their kid? Right? Like, that milk is meant for calves to drink out of their mom's, tits. And you got humans like me and you drinking that shit in our cereal. Right? But it's like, humans should be drinking human milk. That's not going to happen. That's we do that for a while when we're born, but that's about it, right? Like, we can't just keep doing that. I mean, I don't know if there's any science or studies proving that, like, yeah, it's actually good for you if you drink human milk for the rest of your life. I have no idea, but I wouldn't want to. Right? That'd just be weird. Right? That's like, I did that when I was young because I needed to, because that's what I was told. And then I'm told now I drink cow's milk because that's what I was told, and that's what they sell. But then it's like, why do they sell it that? Like, why? How did that even become a thing? To drink cow's milk in your cereal, stuff like that. I gotta tell you this though, I used to do this a while ago, before I started drinking black coffee. I would drink coffee when I was young, like really young, with milk, because it tasted pretty good back then, and it was kind of like creamer, but not as sweet. And we just had milk, and like, yeah, sure, put the milk in. I had it recently, maybe half a year ago. It's pretty recent. I put milk in my coffee because we were out of creamer, and it like made the entire coffee in my cup taste horrible. It's like the coffee burnt the milk inside, and it made it just taste foul. I'm like, oh my god, I don't remember milk in my coffee tasting this bad at all. Like, what do they do to the milk? Or is the coffee just that hot, too strong? But it was just bad. And the thing about creamers, like, it's meant to be in your coffee. It's engineered to not become what milk becomes in your coffee, I guess. It is meant to flavor the coffee and to keep that consistency, and to not, it's not meant to be drunk, like milk is. It's meant for coffee. And that's just because it's engineered like that way. Like, you just can't put food items or add food items to something that's not supposed to be added to or a part of. Like, one time, somebody in my family, we had mashed potatoes from KFC, right? Leftover mashed potatoes. Somebody just heated them up and like added some salt and pepper from the table to them, from the table, right? Table salt, table pepper, KFC mashed potatoes. Immediately they're like, this tastes bad. This doesn't taste good. And I'm like, yeah, because it's engineered to not have any other things in them. You're supposed to eat this on the go, in your car, at KFC, and if you go home, you don't add shit to it because it's not meant to be put into it. Now, you might be saying, Alex, why are you telling me how to eat food? Why are you saying this stuff, Alex? This is hurtful, Alex. Well, I'm just giving you a heads up because that's how the food is engineered. It's not meant to be seasoned by your household seasonings. It's not meant to be reheated. It's not meant to be, add condiments from your home. When you do that, it breaks down the enzymes. It breaks down the atoms that have been created in a lab to withstand in certain circumstances. And when you add outside stuff into that, that realm of fast food item, it becomes something that it's not supposed to be. And it breaks down, and it no longer becomes edible. It becomes something that it wasn't supposed to be because you're introducing stuff that it was never designed to have in it. Never, ever. So when you do that, you break the entire, the chemistry of that item. It's like you introduce chaos to it. It's not meant to be surrounded by this. It's not meant for it to be reheated. There's no way you can tell me that when you reheat or heat up fast food items that they taste better. There's no way. Like, you can't, eat some McDonald's cold fries, save them for later, heat them up again, they taste exactly the same. Or they taste just as good. They don't. You can't say that with a burger either. It's just not meant to happen. These companies have designed these food products in labs for years and years of testing, designing, tinkering. What goes good with this? What can we add to this? How can we change this flavor up? What do we need to inject into this meat, bun, cheese, lettuce, whatever, to make it taste better? To make it taste a certain way that no person can make this at home, and no person could just be like, you know what, I'll try to make that at home. No, they're making it so you have to go there to eat that item, to get that satisfaction that you can only get at that place. And if that has to go through testing, through putting into beakers and test tubes and the right seasonings and the right ingredients and the right chemicals, they will go to the ends of the earth to find that. That way you cannot replicate that at your home. And you have to get it a certain way. I swear to God, man. The bacon at McDonald's, and at breakfast time might have crack in it. There's just something about their bacon that is addictive. I've had it in their biscuits. I've had it in their hotcakes and big breakfasts. There's something in there that just makes it taste better. I can't put my finger on it, but it never comes out like home bacon that you make. It's just too thin and too small, crispy enough, but for some reason it just tastes better than any bacon that you've ever made. I cannot tell you what it is. I can't. Also, the sausage patty there too. There's just something about that sausage patty that you can't get at any Jimmy Dean, Farmer John's, or any other restaurant that tastes as good as that sausage egg McMuffin sausage patty. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. It's because it's probably designed in a lab. Probably. Again, this is all probably. I'm not sure on that for sure. I know that there's testing and stuff like that, food tasting to, I would assume that for all chains of restaurants to have, but how it could manage to get a certain taste and be so delicious, and you can only get it at that one place. It's like, what are you putting in this? What's going on here? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like, no other place tastes as good as that. And I can't, you just can't describe it. And it's not meant to be tampered with. It's not meant to be tinkered with or fooled around with. You can't add stuff from your kitchen to it. You just got to eat it the way it is. Because once you start doing shit like that, it doesn't become good anymore. It just becomes bad. And that's just, that's just how it is. That's just how the food was designed. And only fast food, really. Restaurants, chain restaurants, stuff like that, you could easily just replicate that. Maybe the cut of meat is from a different, source, obviously, but, for the most part, you can pretty much nail it, what you see at a restaurant, and get pretty close. But fast food, no. That's some Frankenstein shit there. Some Frankenstein shit. I don't know what it is, but you can't do it. You can't replicate that. You can't make a Domino's pizza at home and make it taste just like Domino's. You just can't. There's stuff, there's magic dust or a secret chemical or a secret element being put into that stuff that you as a consumer and a person who just shops at grocery stores has no access to. And you just got to live with yourself. You can't be like, oh, I want to make a sausage egg McMuffin. Like, you can't, bro. You just can't. It's not meant for you to make at home. You can't do it, and you never will be able to, right? And what's crazy, though, is out of all these places, the only place that I've actually seen where the restaurant chain or the fast food chain actually sells some of its product in grocery stores is Chick-fil-A. They have Chick-fil-A sauce in the bottles on shelves, and I haven't had it yet personally. But I'm like thinking to myself, I gotta go get some of that because I'm gonna put that shit on everything. Eggs, bacon, toast, pizza, steak, chicken, broccoli, all that stuff will taste better with Chick-fil-A sauce. One time I had Chick-fil-A without Chick-fil-A sauce. And I thought to myself as I was done, I was like, did I have Chick-fil-A? It didn't taste like Chick-fil-A to me. That's just because of I depend so much on that sauce. And it just makes everything taste better from Chick-fil-A. Whether it be a spicy deluxe or classic deluxe, the chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, the sauce just makes it taste better. Now, I've heard the same thing about Raising Cane's. I've never been there, but I'm dying to try it. I'm a big chicken enthusiast. I feel like our paths would cross up on each other sooner rather than later. And I hear that the sauce is also very good, so I got to check that out. It's on my bucket list for sure. Check out Raising Cane's. That'll be a mission and something that I just got to accomplish soon. If I can afford it, but, I'll have to try it out. I know that they just serve chicken tenders, like it's a pretty basic menu, which is good. I like that. I like when places have a basic menu where this is what we do and we own it. We're the best at it. We just are. And, like In-N-Out. In-N-Out does the cheeseburger to perfection. They just do. They have a small menu. They have a cheeseburger, a hamburger, and a double cheeseburger on their menu. That's their menu. Now, all the other stuff is custom. But for the most part, people are just ordering the basic stuff. And once you get that down, you can just add stuff to it, and it shouldn't be that much different. It would just be better, I've heard of the Flying Dutchman. I personally have had a 4x4. It's delicious. And by the way, if you like In-N-Out, like I do, I'm going to tell you a secret. And it's going to make the burger eating experience even better than you've ever imagined. It's pretty easy too. It's like really simple to follow. And you might at first be like, really? I kind of like that. No, trust me. Once you get rid of this, once you start eating it this way, I guarantee you'll love it. And you will never go back. Whatever you get at In-N-Out. Actually, no. Get a double-double. It doesn't got to be animal style if you want. I prefer animal style, but get a double-double. And take out the lettuce and the tomato. Leave the onion, leave the pickle, but beef, cheese, onion, spread, or not, pickle, onion, meat and cheese and bun. And I tell you this, man, it is better without the vegetables than with, by far. I used to not be like this. I used to be like, give me everything. Give me everything on that burger. And I still kind of do from time to time, enjoy it with veg. But, dude, I'm telling you, based on the flavor and just you can get the full taste of the quality of the meats and the cheeses and all that and the greases and, oh man, it's just so good. It just makes it better. It just makes it better. I don't know what it is, but I feel like that is how an In-N-Out burger is best consumed without lettuce or tomato. And I like both of them. I still eat them from time to time, but I think that without it, it just tastes better. It's light years better. And if you can get that with a 4x4, man, without vegetables, oh man, you will thank me. You will be thanking me, and I will be like, you're welcome. I'm happy that you were able to experience that, and you were able to finally eat a In-N-Out burger the best way you can, without vegetables, because it is so good, man. It's like once you figure it out, once you like discover it for the first time, you'll be like, oh my god, this is just better. It's simpler. It's not as messy, but just it's better. And I'm not missing anything. I don't feel like I'm not getting as full without the lettuce or tomato. This is great. You can just house 2 of those and you'll be good. Also, one more thing on In-N-Out before I switch off of food. It's been a while, I know. But I realize that the fries get a lot of hate. The fries at In-N-Out get so much hate. They really do. And I've been one of the haters. But you have to get them as fresh as possible. And you can say that about anything on the menu, right? I'm sounding like an idiot, right? I'm sounding stupid. Get them fresh. Obviously, Alex. But when you get these fries fresh, you really get a good taste and a good flavor with these fries. I'm not kidding you. With a side of ketchup, I just feel like it just elevates I had the fresh fries maybe about a month ago, and I'm like, damn, this just makes it so much better when they're fresh. Like, if you have the option to eat at an In-N-Out and take it home, eat there. I know it's crowded, I know it's packed, but I guarantee you that your fries would taste much better when they're fresh out of the fryer and not, after like a 20, 15-minute drive home, right? They'll just taste better. And you won't have this agenda or this narrative that the In-N-Out fries suck, because you've been stupid enough to just pick it up at the drive-thru and drive home and get home and be like, man, these suck. Now that will all go away. I'm telling you. When you get them fresh, it's a game changer. It really is. And it will put to bed all this agenda against In-N-Out fries, that they're trash, that they suck. I guarantee you that. It's because when you really have them fresh, they truly taste really good. They really, really do. And I agree. When they do stand out, it's been a while, you haven't touched them in a while, they do become unedible. I agree with people on that. But get them fresh. I guarantee you will finish them. Very good. All right, moving on. I want to talk about Jurassic World Dominion. I've been meaning to talk about this like all week after I saw it. I gotta tell you this. I was not super excited to see this movie. I was intrigued. I was like, I'm going to see it because I need to see how it ends. I need to see how the shit ends. Like, I'm not going to look up a spoiler or go on social media and find out that way. No, I'm going to see it. So I saw it on Monday. I got a matinee showing. I'm like, I'm not seeing this full price. Just because I've heard some bad stuff about this. I mean, I've heard a lot of bad stuff about this. How bad this movie is. And I just had to see it for myself. So I got a matinee showing. I didn't even get an IMAX theater. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be ripped off here. I got a $10 showing, matinee price. I'm feeling good, confident. I'm like, let's see this movie for what it is. Because there's a lot of chatter out there. Is it as bad as people say? I mean, I know critics and audiences sometimes have an overreaction to things like this, and sometimes movies can break people's brains, like Eternals and all that stuff. Where the critics are like, "This is nothing like a Marvel movie. What is Marvel Studios thinking?" Like, and then it's just like you see how brain dead these people are and how stupid these critics can be. They're not stupid here. Jurassic World Dominion is not good. It's just not good. It's not good on so many levels. It's not good on Jurassic Park levels. It's not good on Jurassic World levels. It's not good on modern movie levels either. This movie, I can't believe it was made, and this is gonna be non-spoiler because I'm not about I don't like sharing spoilers in case people haven't seen it or plan to see it. I don't know who listens to this show and is like, oh, I might check it out. Don't spoil it, Alex. I'm like, okay, I got you. We're fine. But I will talk around the spoilers. I think I've gotten pretty good at it since I started this podcast of not spoiling shit. So let's just chat about it. Did this movie need to be made? Absolutely not. Was it at least at all entertaining? Yeah, there's some entertaining parts in it. There's some fun action sequences. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen them. Like I've said in the past episode, I was not sure what this movie was going to be about. And I know, and now I know why they didn't tell us, because it's fucking stupid. I mean, this plot is so dumb. It doesn't even feel like it's a Jurassic Park movie or World movie. Just the plot is so strange, and it's like, they went this direction? That's the bad guy? Really? You just think about, I guarantee you, if you haven't seen it, you will not guess the bad guy. He is part of the lore. You probably wouldn't guess him. And you probably wouldn't even see it coming. You'd be like, the name is mentioned. Who is behind the stuff? Who is behind the madness? Who is the villain? Who is doing no good? And you're like, what? I could not believe it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. They brought this. This is the bad guy. This is the villain. I was like, okay, let's just go with it, I guess. So the plot's bad. It's very bad. It's very stupid. It's very un-Jurassic. And at this point, I'm thinking, like, they haven't really been, like, Jurassic-y since World. The Fallen Kingdom wasn't very Jurassic-y. If you've seen that one, they introduced cloning and all that with this little girl, with a little bit of a, connection to John Hammond and all that in the Jurassic Park, people. And it's really half-assed. And that storyline continues that in this movie. This is not a spoiler. You've seen the trailers, you know that she's in the movie, and that stuff continues in this one. And by golly, man, it just gets dumber and dumber with this whole science stuff and this whole Jurassic Park and Jurassic, these corporations of these different science companies and stuff like that. You know from the beginning with InGen and all that. If you've seen those movies, it continues, and it just gets even more stupid and just not as important, and just like you just don't care anymore. Like, that's how I felt like watching this movie. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm watching your movie, I'm seeing it unfold. I'm like, you didn't even care making it. You can tell, like, within this movie, like, you can tell, like, no one in this movie cared about making it. Like, nobody did. Maybe Laura Dern, maybe. But that's about it. Chris Pratt didn't even give a shit with this movie. Like, you can tell just by some line delivery and all that, and just how he went about his character. He didn't give a shit. Like nobody did. Nobody did. There's some really ridiculous things in this movie, like key points in the story that I won't say. But also, like I mentioned, the writing. The writing is really bad. The dialogue in this movie is also just trash. Like, it's so, like, there's like so many lines in this movie that are actually laughable in what they say and how they say it and how characters react to those line deliveries. Like, I truly can't believe how this movie got made, because it's a big budget movie. Clearly, it's got a lot of promotion, a lot of big franchise, big fan base. It poised to do well at the box office, yet feels so half-assed. It just feels so bad. Like, the CGI is also very, very bad. There's a lot of this movie is shot at night, where you can't really get a good glimpse of the dinosaurs. You're like, what the fuck? Like, why is it so bad? Like, what happened here? Like, Jurassic World was, pretty good for its time. That was mainly in the day. Dominion kind of, went a lot of dark times. And this one's like pretty much like a lot of the most important stuff and the big budget stuff is at night. It's like, what are we doing here? And if you've seen the trailers, you can kind of tell that a lot of it's going to be in the dark. But, it's just like, it's all bad. There's a lot of very fun and enjoyable Jurassic Park references throughout the entire movie. Like, I got every single one of them. Truly, like, that shows you how much of a nerd I am, even though I hate calling myself that. But I got them all. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Colin Trevorrow. Like, I needed that. That was fun. Not really. But, not good. In fact, pretty bad. Pretty bad. It was nice seeing Dr. Grant, Ellie Sattler, Ian Malcolm again. That was cool. They had some cool moments. They had some really fun, team up moments, cool callbacks to the first movies and all that. That was nice to see. I feel like they kind of did my boy Dr. Grant a little dirty, not giving him much dialogue. Maybe it's because he's unfilmable and just not a good actor anymore. Or they just didn't have much, and we're just like, well, gosh, everybody's in this movie. We gotta, we can't give dialogue to everybody. That could have been the reason, but I don't know. It's just it was also just a big messy movie. Like, there's a lot going on that doesn't need it. Like, it's not like it's confusing. It's just like, why is there so much in this? Like, it tries to be this big grandiose like plot and like how it all works in this movie, and it's just like, this is just not fun to watch. It's just so messy. Again, not confusing, just like, there's just a lot here. Like, we don't need all this. Like, this is just overstuffed. And, it's just, we don't need it. So it does tie up the stories that, were a part of, the Jurassic World franchise, which, you can, respect and all that. But this is just Rise of Skywalker. In Jurassic Park. This is Rise of Skywalker. It's just making you happy, giving you things from the originals that seem cool, that really have no meaning or any weight to them or any storytelling behind them, but just, cool visuals and cool callbacks and a couple cool lines and cool fun moments, and that's about it. It's just all it is. It's very empty, very uncreative, unimaginative, just a cash grab, honestly. And especially when you watch it and you see how half-assed the movie is made and how it feels so half-assed, you can just tell it's just a cash grab. It's pretty sad. I mean, I wasn't expecting much. Again, I couldn't tell from the trailer if it was going to be any good or not, or what it was even about. And by golly, like I said this earlier, like, now I know why they didn't show the plot, because it's fucking stupid. It is so bad. It is so lame. And you would think, like, well, Alex, what could they possibly do? They've done pretty much everything. Yeah. They did everything, and then they just went stupid, like really stupid, and it just makes me wish that they never made it in the first place, because it just didn't need to be made. It did not. This movie did not need to be made. And, maybe that'll tell. Maybe people will get it like after they see it, like, oh, that was kind of bad. Maybe word of mouth will travel, and it won't do so hot in the theaters in the States. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe people will just wise up and go watch Top Gun again, because that movie's actually worth it. And this one it's just not. But yeah, very disappointing. But I wasn't expecting much either. Like, I didn't see a story in these trailers, and when I actually saw the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a bad story. This is just bad. And just like I said, I know I'm bashing it, but it deserves it. There's like a couple other characters in this movie that get some of the worst dialogue possible, and literally like make the movie like just so bad. Like, there's a scene like this new chick, she's the pilot played by DeWanda Wise, She's the pilot in this movie, and she has some of the worst line delivery I've ever seen in any actor. And it's like, what the fuck did they make this lady do? Like, this is atrocious. Like, it's not just like her performance overall, but just how it fits in the movie. Like, this is just stupid. It's so bad. And you think about it, it's like, wow, they ruined Jurassic Park. They just ruined it. Like, they ruined Star Wars. Like, it's just like, okay. I won't be watching those ever again. I'll only be watching one. It's just like, there's no story there for me to come back and rewatch it and see those story beats and those moments again, because there are none. There's none in 1, none in 2, and none in 3. I mean, World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. That's what I mean. But like, it's just, it's garbage. It's a garbage movie. It's a cash grab, and it's just a big block. But it's just a shitty movie, and I don't recommend it. And I reviewed this on Twitter right after I saw it. It took me a while to, if I was going to go as harsh as I was, because I'm such a fan of Jurassic Park. But I didn't hold back. I gave it a 5.8 out of 10. It deserves it. It's a mediocre movie. It's not worth your time. I would not recommend this unless you just want to see how it ends, and you want to spend the money to go see how it ends. Cool. But I feel like if you want to go see a good movie, like, if you're asking me, hey, what's good out there? Top Gun Maverick. That's it. Like, that's all I can tell you. It probably won't be in theaters that much longer, so go check it out as fast as you can. Do not check out Jurassic World Dominion. Do not check that movie out. I will save you the time, because it's also kind of long. Like, I was surprised at how long it was, because, again, there's no story, so it just feels like it's dragging the entire time. It's like, and you know me, I don't complain about long movies, long run times. I don't complain, because if it's a good movie, I won't care. But this one was just bad. In all shapes and sounds, it was just not good. And, that movie was just piss poor. Fuck that movie. It was bad. And I'm not going to dread on it, because I just don't care. When the CGI in the movie just does not look that great, and that much effort put into it, it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, you clearly didn't care. I don't either. It just, see you later. All right. Good thing you made it. You put it out there. Cool. Mission accomplished. Make all the money you can get overseas, because no one here is going to give a shit. And if they do, probably just for a couple weeks, and that's it. Honestly, I don't see this movie making that much money. I mean, I don't know. Just like, I feel like people nowadays, after seeing Top Gun, would rather see that again. I don't know. Maybe that's just my bias, but like, I just have no desire to watch this movie again, or even recommend it. I was like, my dad was like, how's Jurassic World? I'm like, not good. Don't see it. I was straight up, because I know he was a fan of the first one. Park, not World. And I was like, don't watch it. Do not watch it. It's not good. But that's going to be it for me today, everybody. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. And this show drops every Thursday. Remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, rate, review, all that stuff. It helps a lot. If you have a question or a topic you want me to discuss, DM me on my social media. It's going to be in the description of every episode. Check that out. Don't be scared. Give me some feedback, too. I love to hear feedback. But yeah, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. I will see you guys back next week.